This is a Mystery Files. I'm talking in a new accent this time. No, I'm
That's
not.
not even an accent.
I don't even know what it is, love. Really don't
It's
know.
not really an accent.
It's a mix of a lot of accents, really.
Is it?
Isn't it,
Is
love?
it?
It's a mix of an accents, isn't it?
I feel like it goes to No, I'm doing more of a dingo, like an Australian.
I think I get my British and Australian accents mixed together. I don't really know.
Yeah, because
Simply
you're a bigot. You're...
The math ain't mathing.
Wow, you think Australia and the UK are the same place? That's crazy.
No, I actually used to be obsessed with Australia and like
Australia.
I was gonna say Australian Open because it was like tennis, but it was Australian. For some reason,
What the Australian Open is?
Yeah, I used to watch that
tennis?
all the time. Yeah, well, it was for that.
Oh.
I don't know. I just watched tennis matches in Australian.
Were they
Yeah.
good?
They were
Were they
fun.
long?
I just loved listening to the commentators. So that's how
Were
I
they
learned.
funny? Were they like quick or were they like slow with it? Like, oh wow.
They were pretty quick, from what I remember. This
Were
is
they,
like
yelling?
7th grade me. I always had like very specific interests, and one of them was watching Australian Open.
Oh my gosh. We should have been sports podcasters, like
But British.
but British or
Yeah,
Australian,
or
depending
Australian.
on
No.
Can you imagine though if we? Oh my god, the Olympics. We go in and we're like, wait, you know what? Actually,
they did a flip.
I have ideas now. I have
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah.
They do like swim meets and like
Yeah.
competitions. Like they do like little tiny things in the local area, like in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
We should talk to them and see
Yeah.
if they'll let us like
Talk during the things.
talk during a thing. Not do a
Mhm.
mystery, but like we like is it spectating? Is that what
Yeah.
it's called?
Yeah, or commentate stuff.
Commentating.
It's
That's
the
what it's
I
called.
think it's like the same thing. But I think
We're
the
good at
main
talking.
the main issue about that is though, you almost looked at my screen in the
I
case.
wasn't gonna look.
The main issue with that is I don't know sports well enough to be able to talk about it. Like I'd be like, "Oh, here's a
Girl.
swim meet. Look, they swam. She
Damn,
jumped in the water. Great."
She really did that. She jumped in, girl. Like
Yeah.
that's me during it.
Actually, I do know a little bit about swimming,
yeah.
just because I was a day camp counselor and I taught little kids how to swim.
I know about swimming because I passed a swim test, so I could swim at Christian.
But
camp.
do you know
So
the
we know
different?
enough.
You know the different like swim techniques?
Yeah, we got the butterfly. We got the
Okay.
backstroke.
We
We
got
got
the
the long
breaststroke.
stroke, the breaststroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my favorite because it was like a frog jumping.
Lots of different strokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
But
I'm
only
gonna
for
email
swim.
them.
Only for swim. So if you know anyone that needs a swim commentator, we totally got your backs. But
We
unfortunately, this is not a swim podcast. This is the Mystery Files.
I feel like I would do too bad at like
Yeah.
heckling, you know?
I
Like, they'd
I,
be, like,
I think you could
swimming.
heckle some people. Be
Yeah.
like, get a grip, you idiot. Yeah.
You think any of the commentators are bullying people during the Olympics? Probably a little.
Probably a lot.
Like just a little. Yeah. I would bully
They're
them.
probably way biased, some of them.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's how they figure out who's gonna be first, second, and third.
Yeah.
They like F with people.
I don't think the commentators do. There's judges. Or not the judges.
They're not judges.
We're judging, but we're not the judges.
Yeah, we're judging you, but we're not judging you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like you'll emotionally feel scarred, but it'll have no like
True impact. You know?
true impact on your long statistics of the meeting.
Yeah.
As long as we don't show them this episode,
Mm-hmm.
we could do it.
I forgot how we got here. Not like physically here, but this
Yeah.
in the conversation.
That's how I feel every time we do the podcast. I'm like, where am
Oh,
I?
Australian Open. Our accents. This is how we got there. My brain just went and it fell
Mhm.
down a little flight of stairs.
That's the podcast. Welcome everybody.
Yeah, our brain just fell down flights of stairs every week.
The Mystery Files.
Yeah, I'm Tiffany.
I'm Logan. You know why you're here.
Yeah. I got scared about saying my last name again because I don't know what it is. It could be Tiffany Walker. It could be Tiffany Volk.
I feel like you pick a new one every
So
time. You,
just
like, flip 'em.
call me Tiffany.
Call you Tiff.
No, thank you.
Call you Rat.
I prefer Rat to Tiff.
Mm-hmm.
Tiff sounds like a disease.
Tiffany.
Yeah, a Tiffany and a Tiffany.
I just had a Tiffany.
It sounds awful. A rotisserie.
I
I had a rotisserie.
just had a rotisserie.
Nah. Yeah.
Anyways, welcome everybody. We're back.
Welcome.
We haven't done a show in 2 weeks now.
2 weeks.
So we got some zoomies in us.
Yeah, we got some
We're doing
zoomies.
some
Last time we were
things.
together was to celebrate my birthday.
Your birthday.
I don't feel any older.
You're 24 now.
I'm 24. That's
Wow.
wild. I don't feel 24. Nor do I look
Yeah.
24. So
No. You
the
look,
years just keep coming.
and they don't stop coming.
They don't stop coming.
Anyways, last time we were on the show, we talked about
The well, the hecky wacky.
the well to hecky wacky. A lot of people
Yeah.
liked that one, at least on like the socials. The video I
Yeah.
posted of like the screams were
because it was
so
horrifying.
funny.
It's because it was horrifying.
We got a lot of traction on that one, so thank you guys for all the love on that one.
So
That was super fun.
Sweet. We were traumatized, as always, on the show.
There was someone in the comments. I don't know if you saw it on the TikTok.
No.
I commented on my personal TikTok on the Mystery Files one.
Yeah.
And I said something about oh my god, what is going on here? Like trying to be like silly because I'm one of the people in the video, obviously. And some random guy just explained the breakdown of what was happening in the video to me, play by play.
Some people just don't pay attention. Or they like call stuff out that we called out.
I
If you
can't
just listen to the
tell.
episode, you'd know. You know what I mean?
Right. I can't tell if they were being like sarcastic or if they were like doing a bit, but it was there, and I was just like, oh my god.
They were either being genuine or sarcastic.
Yeah.
Like genuinely like, oh yeah, bestie, it's this. But like context clues would lead you to be like, oh yeah, that person's in the video just playing silly little games.
A couple people were like saying something about like too, like you said, like about watching the episode. They said something along the lines of like, oh, what was it? They were saying stuff about how they were like with the sounds. They were like, oh, like that's actually this. It's actually these horror movie screams on like repeat. Well, yeah.
That's the whole
listen to the episode.
It's the whole twist of the show, bestie.
That was the point.
It was
I posted it so you would listen to it. That was the whole thing.
It was a whole plot twist. But yeah,
I don't know.
That was a good episode.
It was super fun.
It was good.
We had a
It was fun.
I'm glad I was able to take away your emotional scarring from that one.
Yeah, and this week I'm gonna emotionally scar you.
Oh my god!
But like actually.
Oh, actually. I'm so curious to know because you were very excited about it, and I don't know how much crazier it can get than you posting like an evil Furby theory.
Yeah, I posted a fun little theory the other day because I was excited about. I don't know. I just wanted to.
It was good.
Spooky vibes. So I was like, "Ooh, evil Furby theory."
It was good, but I was like, "How are you gonna outdo yourself in turn?" Oh god.
Easy, stinking peasy.
Amazing.
You know, I know I have a good mystery when. While I'm writing the script for myself, I send like a little vlog to my sister, and I'm like, "Hey, Stephanie, I can't tell Logan this, so listen to this crazy part of the story." So when I get to that spot, I will point it out to you because you definitely will know because it's whack.
Okay.
So
sounds good to me.
That's when I know it's gonna be real creepy, and I'm so excited.
Would you like a little drum roll to get into it? Sounds like you're anticipating. You're like ready to go.
Let me turn my screen on again.
This is episode 12, by the way, for anyone who cares. Season 7, episode 12. We're not keeping track. Neither are you. But
neither are
there you go.
There you are.
Are you ready?
Yeah. This week on the Mystery Files, I present the case of the mysterious catacombs of Paris.
Oh, I hate you.
Yeah. Wait, were you gonna do this?
No, but literally, like, that's so wild. Because what week was it? Was it Well to Hell? No, it may have been. What case did I do after that? What was
before that? You mean
before that? Yeah, before that. What was that?
I don't know.
I'm looking real quick. That's so nuts.
Was it a similar vibe?
The eruption of Mount Vesuvius, the Pompeii case.
Yeah.
I got to the Pompeii case because I was like, I want to do a case on the catacombs, and I couldn't find enough info, so I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. But you found it. That's so exciting.
Info. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yes.
As above, so below, honey.
I wanted to watch that movie today, but I couldn't find it where it was free. I just didn't want to pay $4 to rent it.
Wait, I'm just having a moment here. I sent you that catacombs TikTok that was like, there is a France.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what that was. I thought it was
the catacombs.
Oh, I was not paying attention to that. I chose this because yesterday, was it yesterday? No, on Easter, I was, for some reason, I was talking about the Edgar Allan Poe story. What, I don't know. There was one story about Edgar Allan Poe where he talks about the catacombs.
The cuckoo's nest.
That is not Edgar Allan Poe, you psychopath. That is not Edgar Allan Poe. What the heck? Oh, the Cask of Amontillado. Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. The cask. I'm looking it up.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Cask of Amontillado. I probably said that wrong. But yeah, I think that had catacomb vibes. But I was telling that story on Easter, and I was like, wait, now I kind of want to talk about catacombs on the podcast. Nothing says Easter like the catacombs.
You were thinking about the tombs Jesus rose out of. And he said, you know what's better? Giant walls of skeleton heads.
Nothing really beats it,
Nothing really beats it. Oh my god, I'm
Not
so
the
excited.
resurrection of Jesus Christ, my king. Yeah.
King.
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 Slay.
Hey, King.
Hey, King.
Hey, King.
He's a lovely man. But yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna talk about the catacombs, and I'm so stinking excited for this.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for
I'm so
manifesting it
excited.
on accident.
You're welcome.
You're
That's what I
welcome.
do.
The gift that
I'm
keeps on
carrying the
giving.
podcast,
You're
clearly.
on your back. On your back. Alrighty, we're gonna get into this intro. So, if you ever have had the pleasure to take a stroll through the French capital, remember this. Below you run many miles of tunnels, filled with the remains of 6 million people. Below you are the haunted catacombs of Paris. This is an eerie place and is regarded as one of the most haunted places in Paris. A tiny portion of the underground is open to the public, and is said to be worth the visit, as long as you don't mind the dark, dank, and the macabre. So, you're walking through the streets of Paris? Just know that possibly beneath you is a bunch of dead bodies.
That's I didn't know it was
that?
6 million. That's like
6
such
million.
a high number.
Yeah.
Well, like I feel like are we gonna talk about like the history like behind it and stuff? Okay,
Yeah.
I won't like spoil it then. But like
Yeah.
there's like a reason.
There's 6 million people there.
Yeah, because also depends on like it had to do with like the fact that like so many people were passing away during the plague, right?
Yeah, plague. I actually don't talk about that much.
Okay, yeah, like
So,
it
like,
had to
the
do with
plague.
like the plague, right? Because like there were so many like bodies, it was like smelling on like the streets and stuff, and they had to find a way to dispose of bodies, so they put it into like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's just so wild to me. It was just like weird.
6 million.
Oh, I'm just like thinking about that. The reason I bring that up is because when you were talking about walking down the streets, I think people said that they could still like smell it like rising up sometimes. Nuts.
No.
Insane stuff. I can't believe that even like happened. 6 million.
6 million. And also the
my
fact
God.
I feel like people romanticize Paris so much. So then you hear stories like this and you're like, how romantic can the city be? And like I've talked to Benjamin about this before, but like I don't really have a desire to go to Paris.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like it would be like there's the Eiffel Tower and like the Louvre.
Cool. Yeah.
And that's kind of it. But like the catacombs would be interesting.
Can't you tour them? You can tour the
Yeah,
catacombs.
you can tour a little, like a mile of it.
Yeah, I think I saw that when I was trying to look up stuff for this. It was mostly just stuff for tours. I was like, thanks.
Thanks,
Perfect.
just a tour.
Amazing.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is all Paris has got. Dead bodies.
Yeah, I feel like Paris is like fake, you know? Like when people like film there, and I'm not talking like a green screen when you know it's a green screen.
Yeah.
When they like film in Paris, I'm like, that doesn't look real. This one does not look like a real place. You know? Like,
yeah, I just feel like it wouldn't be like as stunning and like as romanticized as everyone makes it seem. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it would live up to what people romanticize about it.
Yeah.
And like it's made of dead bodies. So like how romantic can it be?
I want to go to the Paris and Phineas and Ferb.
I don't remember that.
It's when Isabella like sings the Phineas and she's like, in the city of love.
I vaguely remember that.
In the city of love. Yes, exactly.
No, I don't remember that.
That's the Paris I want to go to.
That's the Paris of my dreams.
That's the Paris of my dreams. That's hashtag my Paris.
Hashtag my Paris.
It's living.
My Paris living. So now we get on to the history of the Paris catacombs.
Oh, so, I hope there's not a plague.
I hope there's not a plague. Oh, dear God.
That would suck.
Man, it would really suck if a plague happened right now. Too late. The catacombs weren't always a refuge for human bones. In Roman times, open-air quarries existed throughout the region, well beyond the city limits of what the Romans called Latita, long before it became the French capital. People helped themselves to the stone from the quarries and used it first for their humble dwellings, but once the Middle Ages rolled around, they used it for their huge cathedrals as well. After all, why transport stone from far away when so much limestone could be found so easily just beneath their feet? So as the city spread, it found itself right above the quarries, but constant evacuations would weaken the ground, create an unregulated underground labyrinth that threatened to collapse. Sometimes it did collapse, like an infamous 1777 collapse of the Rue de Fer, which swallowed up an entire house.
Oh my God.
So they had like these big quarries, which are like essentially like stone pits and like I don't understand like how like did earth grow over them too? Like how they have a house that like swallowed up into it. You know what I mean?
Or do they mean like the ground caved in, maybe? Or I guess they could have been built on the side too.
Built on the border of it? Or like I don't know how that works. Cause I was
quarries
trying to look
are huge.
Up. Yeah, like I was trying to look up how that works. But and like saying like it was all underground. I don't know, because when I looked up quarries, it said like they were big pits, but some of this is saying like they were located underground. But like, how did ground grow over a quarry?
Wait, so
that's
saying
what I
ground
don't understand.
grew over a quarry Interesting.
Well, like, that's what it makes it seem like, but maybe I'm just not
Hmm.
understanding. So if anyone knows about quarries and could enlighten me, I really tried to look this up, and I was like, wow, maybe I'm just really silly and not truly understanding what a quarry is.
I'm just picturing like the house like fell into it and that's how it got like swallowed up
Yeah, like,
maybe?
either it,
Like it
like,
fell through.
fell, like, off, like, it slid into the side of it,
Yeah.
or, like, it just, like, caved in, and it was built on top of a quarry
Yeah.
that was, like, grown over.
Yeah, that's my best theory. Is
Okay.
that it's the latter. It's like it got swallowed up and got built over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's the
it
best
swallowed up an
theory I have.
entire house. So worried about the ground under Paris, authorities set up a general inspector of quarries, and it still exists today, to check on the stability of quarries and to prevent anyone from digging new ones. So during this time, the cemeteries of Paris were filling up. The city was expanding, the population was growing, and the city's 200 graveyards could no longer keep up with the demand for space. So each
Mm.
time a new grave was dug, bones would be found underneath. So, like, they were basically just like,
Yeah, they were placing bodies on top of
there are
bodies.
bodies on top of bodies,
Mhm.
and that's why it's probably super smelly.
Yeah, I
So
would come back and haunt someone if they put me on top of some random stranger.
yeah, like
I'd be so
staggered. It's like a
mad.
bunk bed
Mm-mm.
of graves. That's not for me.
Yeah.
But during the reign of Louis XV, inspectors recorded accounts of the difficulties in conducting business in the area due to the unsanitary conditions of the cemetery caused by overuse and incomplete decomposition of bodies. So this does sound really smelly, and that's unfortunate for
Yeah,
everyone. Also
Paris
had to
used to be
breathe it in.
disgusting.
That's
That's
why it's
like
like, why
what's
is it
wild.
romantic? Why was it ever
Capitalism,
capitalism? Like New York,
commercialism. Yeah,
it's romanticized.
yeah.
but
New
it's
York is
stinky.
smelly too.
It's
Sorry,
stinky.
New York.
Sorry, New York. I love you, New York, but you stink.
You stink.
You stink, New York.
You
Get a grip.
stink.
Wow, we have really good accents on the show. You can't help
Just become
ourselves.
an accent podcast.
We're an accent
That
podcast.
won't go.
No, we'll get yelled at a lot, but it'd be like that. Pay for your art. So later, 2 orders by Louis XVI were to move the Paris cemeteries out of the city, and they were resisted by the church, which was operating from burial fees. So basically, the church didn't want them to. What was it?
Because they were making bank.
They were
from
making
it.
bank by having all these burials. So they were like, no, let's keep doing it.
Oh my god!
Because-
It's literally capitalism. That's
Yeah.
why it smells bad there because
Yeah.
of capital. That's
They
wild.
said, let's keep burying all the bodies. And so to reduce the number of burials, the price of burials was increased then. So they were like, oh, we won't bury as many, but like, we're still going to get that coin.
They're gonna charge more.
They'll
for
charge
it.
more so they
Yeah.
can make a lot of coin.
Wow.
So, after a prolonged period of rain in spring 1780, the sheer weight of all these bodies strained the grave walls until an entire chunk of the Cimetière des Innocents gave away, right into the basement of a local restaurant.
That's
So-
Oh, that's so gross.
But, like, think about it. That's so nasty. It's
Ugh.
like, imagine,
Mhm.
like, the the dead bodies, like, sliding into the restaurant.
That's like the. This is
Mhm.
a messed up reference.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
reminds me of like isn't it like the first episode of Bob's Burgers or something like that?
Oh,
where
wasn't it
like
supposed
the
to be-
human remains like
Yeah.
and the health inspector comes. Like imagine a health inspector having to do that.
Mm, no, ew.
On like a serious note though, that's like really like just really screwed up. Like the fact that like they didn't care that much that they were stacking the
Yeah.
bodies so high that it like fell through to
Yeah.
like a restaurant where people like that's so
Like, ugh.
Oh,
Like,
that
the
makes me
grave
so
walls,
mad.
like, giving way so much that all, like, these
yeah
dead bodies that were, like,
Yeah.
decaying just
yeah.
right into.
But they didn't care because they were making a lot of
No.
like money from it. That's so annoying.
Yeah, basically, let's keep doing it. That's a cute idea. Was not
Literally,
cute for this
like,
guy.
And it couldn't keep up with like the demand of it, like you were saying. Like that's just so
Mhm.
like get a grip. Like
Get
just
a grip.
no one to quit. No
Yeah.
one to quit.
They didn't want to make as much money until, like, it literally was
Mm-mm.
pushed to this extent. So then, on September 4th, 1780, an order forbade burying corpses in Les Innocents and in all other Paris cemeteries. So now, where are they going to put all these bodies? Because you
Right.
can't put them in all these different cemeteries because there's not space
there's
for them.
no more. Yeah.
So it's basically just an entire city with bodies everywhere.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, not good
Mm-mm.
vibes.
Why would you want to live there?
Why would you want to live there?
You couldn't really live anywhere else. At
Yeah,
that
but like now I'm scared to
era,
even want to go
but,
to Paris. Like I don't want to in the first place, but like if I did want to go,
like the history of it, like with that,
Yeah.
like, just remembering. That
like
they're
how could you
everywhere.
walk and be like, yeah, I feel okay? Because I don't like going in cemeteries either for the same reason that like I get freaked out in cemeteries walking because I'm afraid it's like stepping on bodies even though they're underground.
Mhm.
So like knowing Paris was built atop all of these bodies really
Mhm.
does not sit right with me.
Yeah, they basically have an underworld. Like they literally
Yeah.
have like a
Mhm.
underworld underneath them. Like
Yeah.
that's so.
Also, me being the person I am, thinking everything's haunted, I would be like, okay, basically I can't buy any house or like rent anywhere in Paris without getting literally possessed by the ghost that lives there. That's not for me. That's inviting darkness into my life. There's enough darkness. I don't need that.
I'm
What?
sorry, this is so scarring, like, you're talking about, but, like, I, like, literally, like, I'm just thinking about the fact of, like, the, like, possessing, like, the, like, structures there.
Yeah.
Like, imagine someone possessed the Eiffel Tower, and, like,
Uh-huh.
losing my mind, because I'm thinking of those videos again of, like,
Yeah.
the talking buildings.
Not
of
the
New-
talking buildings.
I know we already talked about it before
Yeah.
on the podcast, but I'm just, like, thinking about the talking Eiffel Tower possessed by someone, and
That
it's
sounds
just...
like a VeggieTales bit, but like gone
It
wrong.
is! It literally
A
is!
VeggieTales bit gone incredibly wrong.
And it would talk, it would be French, it'd be like, oui, oui,
Oui, oui. I'm possessed. I'm possessed.
Watch, someone tells me they spoke Latin there too at the time. They're like, well, French, actually,
French?
actually they spoke Latin.
They actually didn't speak at all back then. I don't know why you
No
thought
one
they...
talked, actually.
No one ever talked back then. You're an
No
idiot.
one talked. They used hand puppets to communicate.
Idiot. You idiot.
I'm like, it's literally a VeggieTales bit. I'm just thinking, like, the Luke coming to life. It has a little bit of, like, it has, like, a twisty mustache.
Oh my god,
and
that's
it's
really
like,
cute.
Oh,
Oh.
oui, oui.
I'm gonna draw that out. That's
Oh.
really cute.
Grande fromage.
My grandfather. I keep talking in an Italian accent. Do I even know how to speak French?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Aye.
That sounds kind of Italian though.
Aye.
Aye.
You
I
have you have to, like, roll in.
I can't
Think
roll.
like ratatouille.
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 I did take 4 years of French honors.
Wow, you're
But
really bad at it.
We didn't
then.
learn French accents.
What's grand fromage mean? Grand fromage.
Cheese? Is that what you're saying?
Oh.
Fromage?
Like, I've just heard people go, I'm the grand fromage.
I'm the grand cheese? What the heck does that mean?
Like, you're the big cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Big cheese. You're a big cheese ball. So.
I'm wearing orange.
Oh my god. You're a little hot Cheeto.
Honestly,
you're
yeah.
red and orange. And
Yeah.
green. No, I don't know what hot Cheetos
It's my little heat miser outfit.
Aww. I don't have anything special. I'm the earth.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I did this bit when I first walked in, but, like, I'm the
Yeah.
fire that destroys the earth that you're wearing
The
right
earth.
now.
All the cute little animals.
Yeah, say goodbye to them. They're gone.
Flames of fury.
They're done. You thought the
They're
catacombs were
done.
bad?
Yeah.
They're it's gonna be a zoo down there.
They're about to get well to Hecky Wecky and Mount
Yeah.
Vesuvius.
You think all dogs go to Heavian?
Heavian.
Heaven. Bad news for you. They
going
go
to
to
Hecky
HE
Wecky
double
hockey
hockey sticks.
They go where everything goes. Straight down the Hecky Wecky.
Right down to HE double hockey sticks.
That is kind of hard to say. Struggle.
Blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the collapse was not the only danger in this situation. So
yeah, it's
obviously,
these accents. Sorry,
fire
I'm
too.
done. I'm done. I'm
the
sorry.
collapse was not the only danger. So the entire setup was
It's
actually...
Italian again. I'm
I
sorry.
can't help it. I'm Italian. The entire setup was extremely unsanitary, and the many masquerades becoming sources of infection and illness, smelling disgusting, and polluting the wells from which people got their drinking water. So not only does it, like, really stink and it's, like, very unsanitary, but, like, they're drinking dead people water.
Oh.
It's like dead people soup.
Nope. That's
Nasty.
nasty, and also can cause disease. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure, like a
Source of infection.
source
Mhm.
of zombies.
Zombies. Ugh.
Zombies.
That, like, makes me ill to think about.
Mm-mm.
Drinking water like that.
How is this all happening in the town? And, like, they did not go, maybe we should stop.
Maybe we should just not live here. Maybe we should pack it up.
Like, that's not healthy living for anyone, including,
No.
like, the church, too.
Yeah.
Like, what? Guys, give it up.
They literally
Give
don't
it up.
care. They said some things
No
are
one
worth
just-
fighting for.
Know when to stop.
They were making that coin. They said, we got enough coin from burying all these bodies. We'll go buy bottled water somewhere.
Bottled water in the 1500s.
I don't know when this was. 1700s, that's when it was.
Same
So,
difference, right?
As the citizens complained, because obviously they would, Paris finally did something about the overflowing cemetery. So it moved the buried remains of the former quarries of I'm probably saying this wrong, Tombe Issoire in what is now, what do you think? I think I say that. Issoire.
Tomassari.
Tombe
Tomassari.
Issoire.
Tomassari.
I
I
said
don't think
that.
you say the E. I think it's like Tomassari.
I took French, so I know how to say that. Tombe. I should
Well,
look
I
it
took
up.
Spanish, so it's like the same thing.
No. The only thing, I just don't know how to pronounce the Issoire. In what is now the 14th, this is a lot of hard words, arrondissement, whatever that means. And that's how it all began. So the bones were carried in the dead of night to avoid scaring the citizens. So one can only imagine such a death procession, with priestly robes floating past by torchlight, accompanied by the squeal of heaving carts and the whispering blessings of the clergy as the cortege moved
Literally.
forward. So it's like literally so cinematic. They're dragging bodies by the night. They got their little lampy things, little torches.
Not trying to scare people, but instead making the most like frightening visual you can think of.
Imagine you're a little kid. You're like, oh, I hear some squeaking nails outside. I better look. And you see like scary men carrying torches,
carrying a bunch of bodies.
You hear like wheels turning and going, and they got dead bodies in the back of there. They said we gotta move them all by hand.
I wonder if that caused any legendary like folklore and stuff too, of like how people like walk in the dead of night, like how the dead do and stuff, or like skeletons walk at night. Like that's kind of messed up, but it's also like I could see the kid being like, no, they do. I've seen it.
I saw him carry the dead that night.
I've seen it.
Oh, those poor French. Maybe that's why they're so messed up.
They carried
the death on their back.
They carried the dead on their backs. Yeah. They literally carried.
Speaking of carrying, I'm about to carry this podcast, this amazing fact that I have. I was telling Logan prior to this about how I save bits for the show.
Amazing.
And I saved this fun fact of information because I'm so excited by how disgusting it is.
Is this the one you told Stephanie?
It's the one I told Stephanie.
Okay. Amazing.
And I'm literally so excited. Okay, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Be ready to want to throw up. So, disgusting fact. Many bodies had incompletely decomposed and had reduced into large deposits of fat, so they were known as like corpse wax, so chiefly in the form of palmatic acid. So, during the exhumation, this fat was collected and subsequently turned into candles and soap made from human corpses.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They reduced the fat of these people and created corpse wax to make candles.
Okay.
And soap.
I'm gonna sound really messed up right now. Candles, maybe.
Logan, no.
Maybe candles. But soap, that you wash
soap
your
is where I draw the line.
Soap is where I draw the line. I don't want dead people in my soap.
You okay with corpse candles?
Well,
Logan.
It's just going into the air. It's not bothering me, you know?
It's gonna stink.
It's not gonna stink. It's probably like just like a type of like fat. Like it doesn't smell bad. You know, I'm just saying, candles, maybe. That could be okay.
You want to throw up in your own house? That's literally like smelling the decomposing body on the street and going, I'm going to light that up. Nothing says...
Okay.
What if it's like birthday candles and a cake? You go, happy birthday to you, this guy's dead and you'll be too. You know, like, I don't want that. I simply don't want that, you know?
I just think, like, I don't know, like, I can see it.
No.
But did they use candles for, like, scents back then, or was it a way for, like, lighting?
For lighting? I mean,
Thomas
Edison, my mans. But, like, either way, they're still burning into the air. Regardless if it's, like, casual or for, like, vibes.
But that's just, like, the same thing of, like, having, like, your grandmother's ashes on your necklace.
It's literally not the same thing.
It's like the
this
same
would be
thing.
like...
I don't know.
Okay, I think the best way to describe this is if burning this candle would basically be if you took your grandmother's ashes, rolled it into a cigarette, and smoked it. Same vibe.
I guess, yeah, if it's like you're breathing it in. Okay,
maybe.
All right,
maybe smoking your grandmother's ashes is a little too far.
That's where I draw the line. Is taking my grandma's ashes and rolling it up.
I would never smoke my grandmother's ashes. Okay?
I wouldn't smoke my grandmother. My mother, on the other hand, that's a.
You would light that corpse candle.
This is so bad. I'm just. Oh my god.
Okay, it's not. It's
what
really
if the
not
soap
our
just
fault.
started screaming?
It's like the Brave Little Toaster, but it's your soap and it's haunted. I don't want no haunted soap.
Coming to the Pixar. Have you heard of Toy Story? Get ready for dead people.
Dead people sense.
Oh my god. I'm just. Oh my god. Is that what
What?
Wait.
What? I'll hit you. What?
Okay.
I'm scared.
Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast.
No.
It takes place in France, right? Right?
Oh, dear God.
He's alive in it. What if he is a candle of a person who died? And then...
Ew.
What if that's
He's
where they got it
haunted.
from?
Oh my god, wait. All these things are making sense because then he's that candle, right? But then all
Right.
of those other things are, what was that one case that we had that had the legend of like
The yokai?
old things coming back to life?
Yeah, the yokai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yokai. So all the other things that come, like the wardrobe, Chip, like everyone else is
Yeah.
that. And he's just a dead candle man.
Oh my god, that's the theory. That's it.
He's a corpse man.
That's it.
I'm gonna throw up.
We've cracked the code. We've
But
cracked
yeah,
the code.
that was my fun fact. And I'm
That's
horrified.
nuts.
I don't know why no one has been talking about this, but I'm simply
Did
disturbed.
they tell the people or did they just do it?
I don't know. And what if like one of them still exists somewhere? Right? So, it has to exist somewhere, like in a museum.
We should try it.
Look at this legendary corpse scandal.
We should-
1865.
We should break into a museum and take it. Wash our bodies with it?
No. No.
Aw, fun.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, disgusting. So, moving on from the corpse candles and the dirty soap.
Darn.
Darn. By 1814, when the quarries finally closed, the tunnels would be home to 6 million Parisian souls. So, like, finally they're getting a home. They came to be known as the Catacombs, in reference to the underground ones in Rome. So there was also catacombs in Rome, but we're talking about the Paris ones. So although in Paris, they were ossuaries rather than the place of burial. So eventually, excavations during the 1960s would yield even more remains, which would also find their way here. So then they brought more remains in 1960, which is like pretty modern.
1960?
Yeah, there's more excavations that happened in 1960s.
That is a jump. That is a jump in
I know.
time. That's...
How are they like, yeah, there's still some bodies left from the 1700s that we
my
haven't gotten
God.
around to yet.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine how much that probably messed with like the souls of those like lying to rest? Not only did they have like, oh yeah, we're stacked on people, stack, but now we're gonna dig up all these people, all
New
like,
tenants.
a ton of years later,
Yeah.
and disturb these souls at rest just to move them to the
Yeah.
catacombs.
Weird.
They're gonna be angry.
Weird.
I'd be
Yeah.
mad.
I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
I'm coming back.
I'm coming back to haunt you all. Also, this is giving me very much vibes of what's that movie? Poltergeist. The pole, the
The pole?
The
The
pool.
pole and his friend Geist.
what?
Is that what you said? Pole?
Pool, like
Pool.
swimming pool.
Oh.
The swimming pool scene.
I thought you said pole.
I'm like, what pole are you? What are you referring to? In Poltergeist?
I thought you were saying like polt, like in poltergeist, like the beginning part. Like yeah, like the pole in poltergeist.
No,
I'm like,
the pool, the swimming pool in Poltergeist.
The pool.
Because there's like, they had a hole digged for the pool, and like, do you remember what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
the skeletons because they built on a burial ground.
Mm-mm.
Spoiler, but you should have watched it. It's so
It's
many years
old.
later. It's so many
It's
years
so
later.
old.
Spoiler.
You
But
should know.
yeah, the Paris Catacombs were open to the public on the 1st of July in 1809 with great fanfare and are still open to the public today. So you still can go. So,
Woohoo!
woohoo! Now we're going to get into a little section about visiting the Paris Catacombs. America, but Paris. Parisica.
Parisica.
America, make it Perry. Perry the Parisica.
Marry the Parisica in the city of love.
Love. Yeah. Yep. So we said.
The layers of jokes that are happening in this episode is
just
like its
can't-
own cinematic
We
universe.
just can't help it. We're so cinematic. So, if you want to go visit the Paris Catacombs, here's some fun info for you. There is a section that's open to the public called the Ossuary of Donfert Rochereau. This section is about 1 mile long, while the tunnels as a whole are about 155 to 186 miles long. So you can only really legally travel 1 mile inside of these tunnels.
Okay, saying legally makes me think that you can't go further illegally.
Oh, you can. It's
Oh.
just very illegal. And I think the people, from what I remember, the people who do this are called like cataphiles. Like there's people.
Welcome back to the Cataphiles.
This week, there's like people who like travel parts of these tunnels that like are not open to the public.
That sounds
And
fun.
they can get in a lot of trouble though. It's very illegal there.
Oh, I bet is it like what's that called when like you make like a crime to like the government that's like life sentencing worthy?
I have
That's
no
what
idea.
It seems like.
Probably federal law, but I
Yeah,
don't know what is in
something.
Paris. I don't know what Paris law is like, but all I know
I
is
don't
this is very much not allowed. And there's definitely been people
Sounds
because
fun.
it's basically because it's really dangerous. One, and like there's so much undiscovered stuff down there, and a lot of people have like gone missing down there or like died. I don't really get into much of like the deaths, but like people have like just wandered off
Oh.
and like died because they couldn't find their way. Like there was this one story of this girl who was with a group of friends and she like wandered off and they couldn't find her again.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, like I think a year or something later, there was a group that like found her, and she had like she was
Whoa.
like drunk, and she just like froze to death and died.
Drunk?
She was drunk. Well, she was drunk with her friends.
Oh, and that's when she like went off to
She
side.
like wandered off by
Oh,
herself,
okay.
and like people found her
Whoa.
like way later. Not her group of friends, but like someone randomly
That's
found her,
crazy.
and she like froze to death because she was alone and didn't know how to get back.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense because it's probably like a lot of different like ways and
Yeah.
places to go. That's crazy.
That's why they have like a specific path they know is safe for people to
Ooh.
go on
Yeah.
and follow, and it's like regulated by the people who do the tours and things. So
Oh my
like
gosh.
it's just like caving but like extreme. Like
How do the people who like work down there find their ways back too? Like that must be really hard.
I
too,
don't
you
know. I mean, it's a
Like, that's
mile.
wild.
It's a mile long, like where you're allowed to actually go. So they must have like,
Mile.
and they
That's
probably
so
they might
long.
have like maps too to like where they're supposed to
Mhm.
be going. But like, considering they can only do like the 1 mile or whatever it is, and there's 155 to 186 miles total in this place.
How many?
Between 155 to 186 miles.
Oh my god.
And the one you can do is
Oh my
1 mile.
God.
So like there's so much that like
That's so
people
long.
haven't seen. Like, but the people who are the Cataphiles or whatever have gone in there and done whatever. People have died. There's also people, I've heard stories that like set up an entire home for themselves down there. And it's
Oh
like
my
really, and they've gotten
gosh.
caught and like it's been in a lot of trouble. Like
Oh
there
my
was someone who like
gosh.
had like a whole video camera system and had like a couch and stuff down there. And
How do you get a couch
I
down
don't-
into the catacombs?
I don't know. And then there's stories of people who like broke in, like they found a way down there and like saw it was under someone's house that had like a bank vault, and
Oh
they
my-
broke into
a bank vault.
Yeah, and they broke into the person's house and like stole a bunch of money
Through the catacombs.
through the catacombs.
What?
So like there's all these like nuts stories, and like we're gonna get into more crazy stuff, but like those are just a few things that I don't have like written down, but I'm like,
But like
what?
when you did the that's
But
crazy
like about the
already.
Cataphiles, because I don't talk much about them. But like
Oh
there's
my
people who
God.
like do this as a fun thing, and it's very illegal. I'm not saying do it, but like
I mean, I might do it.
quote, arrest.
What are you gonna do? Fly over here and arrest me? I'd like to see you try.
They start knocking at my door immediately. They
go,
break it down.
"Oh,
Oh,
it's us."
oh, oui.
No,
You want
we. They have baguettes as swords.
that? So cute. They're French.
Wait,
Yeah.
I was gonna say before we move on, like
Mhm.
the 180 miles you said, or 160?
155 to 186. So like
Okay, so like
it
around
varied.
that area.
Yeah.
That makes sense though that they don't catch a lot of people down there because that's a lot of space.
It's
Like,
a lot of
even if
space to
you are-
cover.
Yeah, if you're even like trying to like guard it or like have security there, like it's still
Yeah.
gonna be way too much for you to know
Mhm.
what's happening at all times. Like it's its own city underneath.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And like it puts into perspective how many actual bodies are down there, because
Whoa.
if they're lining the walls in that place, most of it like
Yeah, I mean 6 million isn't like a small number,
Yeah.
so I guess it makes sense it's so long. Like that's just
but like if you think about it in terms of
huge.
like I feel like you can say 6 million and you don't really grasp the number, but then you
Yeah.
go, oh, 186 miles with bodies lining the wall. Well,
That's long.
bones
Yeah.
on the wall, like
Yeah.
it puts it in perspective even more.
That's so far down. That's
Yeah.
nuts. Oh my god.
So, when you enter the catacombs, it's a simple journey beginning with the corkscrew stairway that plunges you 20 meters underground. So there's no avoiding this, there are no elevators. After looking around a well-lit room filled with information and displays, and a hush begins. A pseudo-grand entrance leads you with the catacombs with these words: "Stop. This is the Empire of Death."
Nope.
And I'm pretty sure this is in French, but like it says this
Nope.
translated. So not discouraging, but not quite welcoming either. They're not called the haunted catacombs of Paris for nothing.
Wait, they're saying it's. Wait, what did it say? It's
Not
Not-
discouraging, but not quite welcoming either.
It literally says like stop.
This
like
is
what
the
do you
Empire
mean?
of Death.
But it's saying it's not discouraging to go. It literally says stop. Like imagine
Yeah.
if you're driving, you see a stop sign,
I suddenly,
and you go, nah.
I feel not encouraged right now. Personally, I'm feeling not encouraged.
Whoever wrote that part of this like
Yeah.
article is so funny
They're too
because they're
good.
just like the rules don't apply.
The rules don't apply to me. I don't really know what I like.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, know that you'll be walking through lengthy tunnels of humid earth for quite a while before reaching the actual ossuary. So, claustrophobes should abstain, and those who have difficulty breathing should as well, because if you get into a panic attack, good luck, Charlie. So, as you advance, any noise will become more muted and muffled, enveloping you in the silence of the earth beneath. The path forward is relatively well marked, but don't wander off, because there is no phone signal down there, and if you get lost, you're probably gonna die. So you'll see bones built up into usual shapes and structures, signs with names of the streets above. So like they do have like street names that are above the ground underneath too, which is kind of weird but fun.
That's weird, but yeah, that's fun. I guess
Yeah,
that's to help like monitor like
where
where
they're at
everything
too.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it keeps you on
Oh,
track a little bit.
that's smart.
And then they have like small rooms with vaults too. So rather than the grim
Gross.
and gory scenes you might expect, the bones have been positioned to please. So a decision was made long ago by then General Inspector of the Quarries, Ericart de Thury. He set up the bones as a museum with spectacular architectural structures such as Doric columns, plaques, altars, and unusually shaped structures, many of which are considered works of art. So there's bones on the walls and bone sculptures, but like he tried to make it look pretty. But like it's horrifying. There's only so
He
much you
tried
can
his
do.
best.
He
Yeah.
tried his best. There's only so much you can do with bones, you know?
Especially with
Yeah.
100 to hundreds million miles.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the
But
number.
also, how can you not be disgusted being like, okay, I gotta build with these bones? Like, is he not freaked out?
It's art, baby.
It's art, baby. But like,
Did what he
aren't you kind of
did for
scared?
art.
He's probably like real haunted before he died. So, while being considered art, but for some people, also certainly has its fair share of bone-chilling myths and legends. So, we're gonna get into some of those little fun stories now. So, this is the story of the uncovered video camera. This is, by far, one of the creepiest Paris catacomb legends. In the early 1990s, a group of cataphiles that we talked about earlier, the people who study and explore the Paris catacombs regularly, was walking through the dark chambers of the ossuary when they found a video camera on the ground. The camera still had footage on it. As they watched, they heard disturbing noises. From the video, they could tell the man holding the camera was lost and had no idea how to escape.
Oh my god.
The more they watched, the more it became clear. The man was going mad in the underground network of tunnels.
Oh my gosh.
So the video ends abruptly with the man dropping his camera to the ground. To this day, no one knows where he was or if he ever managed to get out alive. Many believe this is the inspiration for the movie As Above, So Below, and it was inspired by this tragedy. So, like, they got some truth in there.
That's what I thought. It sounded
Yeah.
very As Above, So Below. I was like,
Mhm.
why does this sound familiar to me?
Yeah.
Oh,
It also
wow.
gave me vibes of, like, your episode last week of, like, the sounds of the Willa Hecky Wecky, because it said, like, there was, like, disturbing noises happening on the videotape.
That's so horrific.
It sounds like something you would hear from the underground.
Oh.
The noises.
That makes sense, too, because, sorry, I'm going to yawn.
Yeah.
As Above, So Below is like almost filmed like a documentary, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
it's filmed like on a video camera type of thing to make it spookier.
I never got to finish that movie, so I don't even know how it ends. Probably death, but like I never got to finish it, so I wouldn't know.
Pretty good.
Okay, don't tell
Pretty
me. I
good.
watched it with Nadia. It was the only time I ever watched it, and I had to leave during our sleepover.
That's wild.
Yeah. So that's the first little story inspired by truth. So next one is called Voices at Midnight. So people think it's possibly linked to the video camera story we just heard.
Oh.
So a famous Paris catacomb legend has it that something terrifying happens in the burial site after midnight. So keep your wits about you if you're inside the Paris catacombs after midnight. According to this legend, that's when the walls begin to speak. It is said disembodied voices will try to persuade you to venture even deeper into the catacombs until you can't find your way out again.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup.
So slowly going crazy, hearing voices, they're leading you to go astray,
Yeah.
so then you can follow and never be seen again.
Well, that's like something that I've kind of thought about, like with
Mhm.
like with what you just said right now with that. Like it makes me wonder, like, do people get lost in there with like the voices like telling them where to go, and do they not think it's like voices? Do they think it's like their own voice in their head? Like, you know how like
Yeah.
your logic brain is like, oh, I should go this way or like do this. Like, is
Yeah.
it like them infiltrating, being like, go deeper,
Yeah.
or like go left, go? That's
It could be anything. Like, it
wild.
could be them hearing their voice. It could be a
Yeah.
mysterious voice. It can be a voice of, like, maybe one of their loved ones. Something to summon
Yeah.
them to go deeper.
Yeah, literally. Or it can also be like even like it could even be
A
like
feeling.
it could even be like the ghosts aren't even like trying to be like malicious per se.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some malicious spirits down there. There has to
Yeah.
be. But like it's possible that they're just like almost like sadly like begging for help or
Yeah.
something, and it's like
Mhm.
they're not trying to hurt
Yeah, like,
people
help
either.
me, come this way, I need help. Like,
Yeah, so it's like maybe they're not trying to necessarily trick, like they're Like,
Yeah.
because that's a lot of people. There's a lot of different things that could be happening to try to trick or ask for help. That's
Yeah,
wild.
and like honestly, for this many bodies, like
Ooh.
the trauma of however that person's last moments
Mhm.
were, like we've talked about it before, it can like leave a moment in time. So like
Yes.
them
Yes.
experiencing the last moments of life could be
It
like
could be on
heard, like
replay.
replay. So like
Yeah.
imagine people hearing people
Mhm.
screaming or
Yeah.
whatever is happening
Or like,
stuck there in that time
yeah, we literally even talked about that on
last week
the
or
Tales of Okiku. During
mm,
that, we talked about like the repeat of like the most traumatic thing that happened to you when
yeah.
you were living.
Mhm.
That's
So like
crazy.
something like that could be the thing that inspires them to go. Like we just
Whoa.
don't know. That's why it's a mystery.
Also, The Walls That Speak is a great title for
It
something. I don't know
is.
what, but The Walls That
The
Speak is
walls
a
that speak.
that might be honestly that might be the YouTube title for this. The Walls
Yes,
That
that would be
Speak.
so good.
The catacombs.
The
The Walls
catacomb.
That Speak.
The walls
That's so
speak.
spooky.
Hey everyone, look at your wall right now.
Are they talking?
I'm talking to you.
You know what is talking? I will
I'm the only one in the room. Must be talking to you. Boo.
Bo.
Boo. I'm a
Humbo.
wall. Boo. I'm a wall.
Lebo.
Lebu. I'm a wall. So now we're going to get on to the next little mystery of the ghost of Philibert Aspère. So during the French Revolution, a man named Philibert Aspère was a doorman at the Val de Grace Hospital. On a mission to fetch a certain liquor from the cellar, Philibert actually ended up entering the Paris Catacombs by accident. So I don't know how that happened. Oh, I guess the cellar somehow he might have found his way.
Oh,
So
that could even be like
yeah.
they didn't know the catacombs were like next to the hospital. Like literally like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. He said, I'm gonna go in the little liquor cellar. So he must have ended up there by accident. So walking around the pitch black catacombs alone with just a single candle, great. Philibert became lost. He had became lost and confused. Many believe he may have been intoxicated at the time. So
He was in the wine
ultimately,
cellar.
yeah, he's in the wine cellar. So ultimately, his candle went out and everything turned to black, making it impossible for him to
Oh
escape the profound darkness of the
no.
catacombs. His body was found 11 years later by a group of cataphiles. So they identified
That's
him
crazy.
11 years later. Well, first off, how did people not realize he was gone? I mean, maybe they realized, but like, why did they not think to check?
The wine cellar, if they saw the opening for it,
I
like,
guess if
you
you
know.
wandered far enough, but how
Well,
far can you wander with a candlelight?
yeah, well, this is really random, not random to bring up, but like I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or not, but that literally reminds me what happened to our cat Bubbles. Like
Oh,
how
mm-hmm.
so basically, quick rundown, I'm not going to go into the whole thing. Bubbles went missing, our cat, and we couldn't find him, and we found out that he ran into the basement. In the basement is concrete walls, but
Mm-hmm.
somehow he got through a burrow in the concrete walls and was in the other neighbor's basement like the whole time, and we had
Oh
no
my
idea. We thought
gosh.
he ran out of the house, so we were looking for him, making missing people posters, and he was just on the other side of the wall.
That's so
But
scary.
we had no idea,
Yeah.
like, because there was no opening. Like, we could
Mm-hmm.
not find an opening, so we have no idea how he burrowed through. So, like,
He found his way.
that might
Just
be how
like
they
this
don't
guy.
know. Like, they
Mm-hmm.
got down there and could not find a little burrow of
Yeah,
whatever he
one
went
little
in.
spot that like they didn't
Yeah.
find.
Because I guess they're not saying, was it like a giant chunk, like enough for like a human to just like gradually walk through? Or was it like a
Mm-hmm.
little hole that like
Yeah.
he just crawled through because he was
I don't know.
curious?
Well, he had a candle with him.
Yeah, so I guess
So,
big enough to at least have a candle with
yeah,
you.
like comfortably have a candle with
Comfortably
you.
have a candle with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, like, it's just anything can happen because we went
Mm-hmm.
down in the basement and we were like, yeah, there's no way he was down here. He would be down here. There's no way he would get through these
Yeah.
concrete walls.
Mm-hmm. And he did.
Surprise.
So did this
That's
man. Yeah.
wild.
But 11 years later,
11
11
years
years later,
later.
he was found. And they identified him by the hospital key ring hanging from his belt. So, like, that was the only thing that they were like, this is that guy.
Oh, like ID kind of thing
Mm-hmm.
for it.
That's
Whoa.
nuts. But he is buried in the catacombs in the exact place where he died, with a
Mm.
tombstone describing his death. Cataphiles and catacomb folklorists say that every November 3rd, Philibert's ghost haunts the labyrinth of the catacombs. So for some reason
Mm.
specifically, they're like, November 3rd is the day this guy haunts this place. I'm like, he's probably haunting it more than you think he
I
is.
think he's haunting it every day.
I think if he's
down
haunting it
there.
at all, he's definitely,
He's probably down there.
he's probably haunting it up. So.
Yeah, like he's down there the whole time. Like
all of them are haunting them.
like literally all 6 million people
All
are
6 million
haunting.
people are literally haunting it up.
Like
Yeah. But now we're going to get into another little idea of the secret hideouts. There's a secret
These are
hideout
so fun.
inside.
I mean, not
Thank you.
fun. They're interesting.
These are so hilarious.
These are such funny
People are
comedy
literally
styles.
dying, Kim. Is that a thing?
Huh?
Is that
People are
yeah,
dying, Kim.
Yeah. People are dying, Kim. Yeah. So the secret hideout inside of the Paris Catacomb. In 2004, a group of police officers were exploring part of the Paris Catacombs restricted from public access when they uncovered some very strange things. First, they found a PA system playing pre-recorded guard dog barking. Then they found 3,000 square feet of galleries wired for phones using pirated electricity. So this is the kind of story I was telling earlier. The officers also found a bar, living room area, workshop, lounge, and even a cinema with the room to seat 20.
A cinema?
A cinema to seat 20 people. 20 people.
A cinema to seat 20 people?
Mm-hmm. Shockingly, the cinema seats had been carved into the stone of the catacombs. So people wanted carving.
What?
How they got this time? That's the cinema, whatever the people are
That's
called.
like ancient, like ruins type.
Yeah, they said, I'm not paying rent. I'm desperate. I'm going to live with these bodies now. But the creepiest part of all, though, was that they discovered cameras on the ceilings recording them. Like, when they found this place.
Oh my god, so the guy knew that they found him out. Oh my god.
And then a few days later, the police squad went back to the area with a larger team to investigate further. However, everything they discovered from the phone lines to the Paris Catacombs cinema had vanished. There's only a note that remained, and the note said, "Don't search." It just said, "Don't search." But in French, so it said like "Ne cherchez pas." Can you imagine? First off, finding all of that.
What?
Finding literally all of that, and then going, okay, we're being watched. We have to bring a bigger team to do this. And somehow the only thing that remained there was the note. But also, how did they get rid of like the cinema seats? Like, did they just like hit that stone until it broke? And acted like that didn't exist?
Yeah, there has to be like something. It was like carved in. He couldn't just like pick up the stone and take it with him.
But like a bar, a living room, a workshop, a lounge, and
literally
a
whole studio apartment in the catacombs.
Yeah, a whole like city within a city. You're joking.
I don't usually get like lost for words on this podcast. I usually have an opinion. I'm like,
what?
How?
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Literally how?
The security cameras on the set. Oh, just.
Yeah.
What? Mm-hmm. Did he bring his friends down and they watched movies?
I'm like, how did he wire so like smoothly to get electricity down there? Like, there's so many questions.
Don't search. That's so funny. Do you think they watched As Above, So Below down there?
I don't.
That'd have been kind of funny.
I hope that'd be kind of creepy.
That'd be really funny.
That'd be real messed up of them. But yeah, that was my last mini mystery. That was the end of the episode. But what are your thoughts? Do you think it's actually haunted? Would you ever go to the catacombs yourself in Paris?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes to all of it?
Wait, what? Repeat? I was only listening to the last
Is it haunted? What are your thoughts? And would you go to the Paris catacombs?
Yes, and yeah.
Yes, and yes.
I say that to the open-ended questions. I'm like, yes.
Yes, and?
Definitely haunted.
Yeah.
For sure. Mm-hmm. I just, if we think that there's demons in like little towns with just like one or two souls here and there, there's obviously a lot of supernatural occurrences happening with 6 million people.
Yeah.
I think I'd definitely visit. I already kind of made my statement clear, but I'd probably be a cataphile, like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be kind of fun. Like,
would you really chance it though? Because like, what if you go down one wrong spot and you get like caved in? Like, what if that's my only fear. Because it's similar to caving. Like, you wouldn't want to explore like an abandoned cave. Yeah. Unless you would and you're a psychopath. But like,
I guess that's true.
My fear would be like, and there's like parts of it that water pools. So like you could drown accidentally by walking in an area that's you're not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? There's so many different options of what could happen and go wrong for you.
I'd be like a cheesy like film where I'd have like my friend. It would be you. You would have like a string. At the very beginning of it, and we would just like roll it out, and we would start drawing in maps so we could start to figure it out.
Yeah. See, you're smart about it. Yeah.
That would be super fun. I mean, it's very illegal, but like I could see I will say I could just see the entrance of living in Paris.
Yeah.
and being with a bunch of your teenager college friends and being like, you want to sneak into the catacombs? Like, that's
Hmm.
kind of like, that is
It's just a
definitely
little
something
silly,
people
goofy
do.
thing, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it after going out on the town though. Like, I would
Smart.
not be like,
Going down there under the influence, you know?
yeah, no, exactly. But it's like really like interesting. I'm surprised like this is not a read at all. This is
Yeah.
more of a compliment. But
Yeah.
like I'm surprised you found so much info about this
Yeah.
because when I tried to do research on it, I got frustrated cuz I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
I was literally like it took me an hour and I couldn't find stuff and I was like, "Ugh, whatever, I'm just not doing
No,
this one."
listen, I had to cut it down. I don't know what website you were looking at, but
I guess I wasn't looking in the right
I have
places
like,
then.
I think I have 3 sources. But
Dang.
yeah.
That's crazy. But no, I love this one. I think like this
Yay.
is what I'm like really interested in. The stories are like really interesting too and
Yeah.
like spooky.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wild that there's stories up until like modern like
Mm-hmm.
times. Like I think those are the ones that really like throw
Yeah.
me for a loop when we do like
Mm-hmm.
cases that are more modern cuz I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's nuts
what?
because the history was so haunting of it, and then it just like
Mhm.
gets progressively just as bad.
Mhm.
It's just as bad. But
The
yeah.
the last thing I want to
Mm-hmm.
say is like I kind of wonder,
Yeah.
I ponder this whole idea that the church making a lot of money off it and not
Yeah.
like thinking about these people's lives and their well-being, they were just thinking about how much money they can make from it,
Yeah.
just kind of reminds me of like how like some type of funeral services can be a little scammy, especially with
Yeah.
how much money they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I believe people who work in like funeral home service probably like do have like well intent, but there is like the companies themselves have
There's
ways of
definitely a
making
lot of
money.
flaws in the
Yeah.
system because you're already grieving hard enough, so to have to go through
Yeah.
so much work and like pay so much money just to like
Yeah.
respect someone who has passed on is just
Yeah.
sad. They keep pushing it and pushing it just to get more
Mhm.
money.
They're just like, your grief has no budget, and then they throw
Mm-hmm.
like 10 grand in your face, and it's like, I don't
Yeah.
have 10 grand
Yeah,
like to give
especially like
you.
if someone were to like cremate someone, I
Hmm.
feel like that shouldn't be a ridiculous cost. Nor like should a
Yeah.
casket or like other ways be just as expensive, but especially for cremation.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're getting this like thousands dollars casket. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
exactly. I mean, not to take it on like a dark note. I already made a joke about it, but like
yeah,
when my mom got cremated, it was pretty like still not like very cheap. It
yeah.
was like almost like $3,000.
Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's a lot of money just to like get like your loved one back. Like it's like, nuts. You
Yeah.
have to buy the urn yourself too. Like, and then
Mhm.
their urns are like 500 some dollars. I don't know. I just thought it was an
Yeah.
interesting place to touch on because it's like not necessarily that I think anyone who's listening who does funeral services is like trying to scam
Yeah.
anybody, but the companies definitely are, and I've heard of
Mhm.
that like before. So it's just interesting to see that like maybe this like kind of corporate greed kind of thing
Yeah.
came from like all the way then too. Like it's just really interesting to hear that
Yeah.
because I've never really thought before like, oh yeah, I guess the church would think, oh, we can make a lot of money off this. Like
Yeah.
that's just
It's just unfortunate. And like
mind
in all
boggling.
these situations there are well-intended people in a corrupted system. So like it's hard to
Right.
say
Yeah.
who's saying what, but like very clearly these churches were corrupted at the time to want to
Yeah.
just keep making money to like
Yeah.
disrespectfully do all these things to these bodies and like up
Right.
their prices just to be really
Yeah.
shady.
Especially with like the level of living everyone was doing there. Like the
Mhm.
church could not have been living happily either. Like the people
No.
working there, like that could not have been good for them
Like it was just
either. Like
inhumane and like
what?
just very disrespectful because then you look at this like as a whole, the idea that like all of these bodies had to be moved.
Hmm.
Like that's someone's brother, it's someone's sister, it's someone's family and
Right.
like they were just disrespectfully
Yeah.
treated past their time. Like that's just sad.
Yeah. I feel like the catacombs would have been a thing regardless of like
Yeah,
what was happening just because of you said like how many like bodies were like
piling up.
piling up and stuff. It would just be just high volume.
Yeah.
But it could have been more executed better sooner
Yeah.
if the church if those churches didn't like weren't so
Mhm.
apprehensive about it.
Yeah, like they should have said something when they started deciding to stack bodies. Maybe that was when the problem began.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
like
if the
once you
cemeteries are
realize.
full,
Yeah.
then they're full. So you gotta start thinking. And like, I don't even know what you do in situations like that when you have such like a packed city. like, where do all the bodies go?
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, especially a city like that where it's, like, so many people smashed into one city.
Yeah, exactly.
I genuinely don't know. So,
And
yeah.
like you said, it's like 155 to 186 miles. Like, that's huge. Like,
It's a huge span.
how did you not realize it was a problem sooner?
You knew it was a problem, but you wanted the money.
The money.
But yeah.
The grand fromage.
The grand fromage. The cheese. But yeah, I think it's definitely haunted. Why would it not be? All these stinking bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know if I want to go there. Maybe to, like, the part that's on the actual track.
If it was with me, would you go?
I don't
Well,
know.
off to
The
the
thing is,
side.
one, do I want to go to Paris? Two, I'm really afraid something would follow me back. I don't know. Or I'd get lost somehow. Something would want to summon me because I'm me.
Yeah.
No hate, Tiffany. I want to come over
You
here.
see people in the mirrors.
Yeah, I see
Like-
people. I don't even see no more people, okay?
Yeah, I see enough people on my own.
I see enough. I see plenty enough. I know enough of the secrets. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'd go if I was really desperate for something crazy. A little
Yeah.
shift in my life plan.
Oh my god, our midlife crisis is we become cataphiles.
Cataphiles?
That's a fun midlife crisis.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I'd go into the catacombs on the directed route.
We're still doing the podcast and it's like episode like 1002. Like,
Yeah.
oh, everybody, we're the Mystery Files and we're going into the catacombs today.
Cataphiles.
I have like a cane with me and I go, wow, and I like fall
I can't
over.
walk. I've fallen into the water.
Help! I've fallen in the catacombs and I can't get up.
I can't get up. Life alert don't work all the way down here.
Oh, my life alert won't work.
Life alert's coming. You hear him? That's for Logan. Come
Wow.
on, hurry up. Logan's on the ground of the catacomb.
Help me, please.
Logan's in the catacomb.
Help me, please.
But yeah, I'm afraid to go there. I don't know. I feel like it's definitely haunted. This is a fun case in terms of, like, there's just so much history to it
Yeah.
that I
A lot
wasn't
of rich
aware of.
history.
Yeah, I didn't know how far it really went, and I didn't know why it began in the first place.
Yeah.
So I was excited to get into it, and I want to rewatch As Above, So Below and actually finish it. And
Woo.
now I want to rewatch. There's a Sam and Colby video where they go to the catacombs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so-
That's cool.
If you like Sam and Colby, if you like Ghost Hunters, go watch that because I'm really excited for that. It happened a long time ago, but still. But yeah, that's our Miss Mystery. So let's get into
Ooh.
our little outro so I can let you beautiful beings go. But it is no secret that the catacombs of Paris hold a lot of darkness within their walls. With over 100 miles that are kept away from the public, who's to say what else could be down there? Could it be ghost of the many lost souls or something more sinister? It's hard to say, but I guess the truths of the Paris catacombs will forever remain
A mystery. Yeah.
But yeah,
Thank you guys
thank
so much
you.
for watching.
We love you the most.
This was episode 12, season 7.
Yeah,
And we will see you next time for my case.
we will.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.